Hello, I'm Taylor Reddish, and this is my usage presentation. My construction was James has a pretty good reason for asking, and this is problematic because it's about usage. So, in prescriptive grammar, pretty is not considered a qualifier, and it should be pretty well instead of pretty good, technically, but in this case, well would sound very awkward because you would not say James has a pretty well reason for asking. It sounds very off because we're so used to saying pretty good. Here is pretty defined by the Oxford English Dictionary. It's qualifying an adjective or adverb to be to a considerable extent, fairly, moderately, rather, quite, and later use also very. So it's defined in the Oxford English Dictionary as an adverb. Um, the question is of it's proper or improper, and in descriptive grammar you would say James has a pretty good reason for asking, but in prescriptive grammar or in an essay or talking to a professor or someone important, you would might say James has a fairly acceptable reason for asking. But I think pretty good should be interchangeable with fairly acceptable because pretty is also not just used as a qualifier in front of the word good. It's also used in instances like pretty tired, pretty ugly, pretty boring, or pretty fast, so it's super common and widely accepted by many people. So, my position is I believe pretty should be accepted as a qualifier in prescriptive grammar because it is used so frequently. It is defined as a qualifier in the Oxford English Dictionary and many other usage guides. And in the next couple of slides, I will show real world examples of how frequently pretty is used as a qualifier in different usage guides. And it seems to be very accepted. So um, here is pretty good from the Google Books Ngram viewer. So as you can see, interestingly, in 1665 it was super popular and then it just dropped down and has slowly, kind of inclined all the way back up to 2012. It's shot back up in the 21st century, so we're using it a lot. It's very common. It looks like it's declined a little bit, but it's still super commonly used. Um, so here are some real world examples from news articles that I pulled from many different sources. You'll see things like pretty good, pretty much, pretty high, pretty hard, super common. And then here are some more real world examples. Fox's virtual baseball fans actually looks pretty good. So this is severely common, and I hear it almost every day. And if you listen for it yourself, whether you're with your friends or your family, professors in class, any of those instances, you'll probably hear pretty as a qualifier. It's very common. So I think that pretty should be used as a qualifier in prescriptive grammar. And here's my works cited. Thank you for listening.